Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Ruse. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Thank you, Anders, for coming on again and chatting
Oh,
with us.
yeah, sure.
Very close. Well, I mean, we're talking about the reissue of your first album, uh,
Yes.
the seminal album, all those years ago. I cannot tell it. How long ago was it that it was released? It was 19,
1990, so it's
yeah,
35 years.
35 years old. There you go. It's probably married, has a mortgage, and has children.
Yeah, or killed someone, been in jail.
Well, if you want to look at it that way, yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
What?
no, it's a lifetime away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what took you back to that album? And obviously, it's an anniversary date. But what
Yeah,
what
I mean
what took
now,
you back?
yeah, actually, I tried to get this reissued ever since 99, but it's been stuck in battles about rights for a while.
Mm, usual music
Uh,
business rubbish, eh? What a shame.
yeah, but now, it's like uh, I don't even want to mention their name, but there's some people in England that think they are the gods, so really keeping metal rights from important bands. I'm not saying our
Uh,
band is that important, but a lot of others. But now I don't give a fuck anymore.
good, good.
So I'll just because they never paid for the masters or they don't even own the masters. We own the masters, and we just thought it, fuck it, because people have been asking us to do like the early stuff for a long, long time. There's several different labels, and through that period, it's been bootlegged several times.
Yes, yes.
And because we have the original tapes, we thought, well, it's up to us to make it sound as good as it can.
Yeah, and it does,
So,
man. It really does. I had the chance to listen to it again, like this version, and
mm,
it's a different beast. It's the same
yeah,
DNA, but it's a different beast, I feel.
it's
Uh,
exactly the same recordings. It's
mm,
just come out better through the mastering genius Patrick Engel from Germany, who's like a weird mix of high fidelity guy, and he loves lo-fi 80s metal, underground metal production. So he has the best equipment to make the sound as good as possible. So and he's an actual fan of the recording. So I think if it was anyone to make it as good as possible, he was the guy. There's just so much you can do to something like this, but with the technology of today, you can certainly give even like muffled recordings more meat to it. And it's not been dealt with in an AI thing. It's just that he has the great outboards and stuff to make it sound as good as possible. We
yeah,
haven't re-recorded anything. It's exact same thing. And that's another thing is that a lot of old bands have turned to re-recording their old stuff.
mm,
You know, and to me, I had that idea for a while too, but then the more other bands did it, the less was interested because, even because the problem is that when you are older and play the songs much better, let's say,
mm.
it kind of ruin the vibe, the performance of it all. And the performance you have on the original takes when you're super excited young person in the studio, that can never be redone any justice to by older people. It's almost the same as, imagine, whoever it is re-recording their old stuff. It's not about only about the metal stuff, but when you're young, you have a certain spirit and a certain edge
Mm.
that wears off with time. So
Yeah.
that's just how it is. I was actually going to a festival in Norway this summer watching Destruction, and I re used to love Destruction,
Yeah.
especially Infernal Overkill and that stuff. But
Mm,
when they play it now, it sounds too perfect to me. It was like I was there together with Snorri from Thorns,
mm,
and we were watching both thinking, we used to love this shit, but it sounds too polished, and it doesn't sound like the same songs or the same band at all. It just sounds like a refined version of whatever was purely sinister and aggressive. And
mm.
that's uh, that's when I have this theory now, actually parallel to this, that songwriting doesn't really matter as much. The only thing that matters is the actual performance. You know,
Mm.
if I mean, of course, you have to have a good song, but a good song can be totally ruined by the wrong performance.
No, I agree. And you again, you hit it right on the nail on the head there, Anders. If you go a band like yourself, so you come out, you want to make the loudest, aggressive, most incredible music when you're teenagers, but you grow older, you grow up like all of us. Do you really want to go back and add your adult self to your teenage self? It would, again, I can't agree more. It ruins the pure energy and experience of that album when they re-record
It,
over and over and over.
yeah, no, it's a reason why things might be legendary.
Yeah, no, like I mean, a classic example is that Steve Harris hates the first mix of the first album, but most of
Yeah,
us
but
love the mix.
everybody hates the first mix of their first album. It's
Yeah,
common, you know.
yeah.
It's like, but they rarely go back to fix it because they realize the same thing as me, as you just have to move on and let what happened happen, you know.
Oh, I agree. I mean, but going back to this, and what's really smart, as I didn't know this when you mentioned that nothing has been changed. You've just push it through a different board or a different desk or whatever you've done, and it really complements. Like it doesn't feel like it's overproduced. Just he's such a genius. Like the way he's worked this album. You
Yeah, I
know.
mean it's not that much to overproduce in there, you know. It's basically drums, bass, and guitar on two tracks, and
Mm.
then overdub guitar and vocal, or some overdub vocal on the same thing as the guitar. So it's really like the purest form. It's a four-track recording, you know.
Yeah, working on a shoestring. I'm sure you had no money, as none of us did back then. So you do
No,
it in, yeah.
yeah, the reason why it's like this is that the only people who would allow us to go into some sort of studio at the time was the old hippies, you know, the whole
Yeah.
old hippie guy that used to have like a progressive rock band in the early 70s. He totally recognized that we were doing something kind of similar to him towards our own time, you know, because
Mm,
when they did their progress, they were inspired by King Crimson and Jethro Tull and
yeah.
Zeppelin and all that stuff. At that time, that was the extreme metal of the time, you know.
Mm,
So he could kind of, connect to that we were doing something brand new that he had no idea where it came from, but he could recognize that we were doing something contrary to what was the current state of music, normal music, let's say, in the late 80s. So he captured that and just wanted to have that. The vibe that we brought into the recording without any naysayer or we should do it like this more, you know. He just captured what we did as good as he could, you know.
do you
So I
feel
learned a lot
yeah,
from that. Yeah.
yeah, amazing. Do you feel that you're very lucky that you were one of those bands where there was no written rule book? I'm doing air quotes here, you can't see it, but there was no this is how you do this music. You
No, that's
you
yeah,
you
that's
you were
that.
right there at the beginning, where you do what you want.
Yeah, I think the whole reason why we're all in this side genre or whatever metal was, it was because it was total freedom to exactly express all the things that you wanted to do. And the most important thing of all was to have your own sound.
Mm.
now the most important thing for a lot of bands is to have the exact same sounds as everybody else, it seems. At least when I listen to a lot of the bands. Of
I
course,
couldn't agree
there's
less. I couldn't agree more. I mean, sorry, I
yeah,
couldn't agree
yeah.
more. Yeah.
I mean, to me, if I have like a bird eye view on things, actually, right now it seems like it's opening up because of AI music, which is
Mm,
good for this genre because that show you that when the computers can replicate exactly what bands have tried to do, well,
mm.
then you have to go human. But that's a different discussion. That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
But up until now, from 2000, I would say until 2020, the rule for metal was to become more and more conform and more fixed in the studios with all the triggers on the drums, the
Mm,
uh, same app. I mean, like same amplifier simulators on guitars, and using the to achieve some sort of metal standard sound and then progress whatever you did from there. But for me, metal music, especially this kind of metal music, is much more about individual path and individual taste. To me, the equivalent of trying to sound exactly like everybody else is exactly what the hair metal bands did in the 80s,
oh, oh,
What and that
yeah.
was what we hated the most of all. That
Oh,
was
agree
the
with you. Couldn't agree with you
total
more.
enemy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so like when everybody wants to when everybody look at Motley Crue or whatever and then try to exactly sound like them and
Mm,
exactly look like them, that's extreme metal for you for a long, long time. It's the
yeah.
exact same idea is to replicate whatever is popular. And I always felt like we did this music uh, because it was not popular. That was the aim was to alienate everybody normal.
Mm. Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah.
if people turned up to a show that we did with white shoes, we were like, "Fuck, we have done something completely wrong now. Normal people shouldn't listen to this. Fuck them."
Do you know, it's interesting talking to you about this because after a lifetime in all sorts of musical forms and genres, and I haven't got a closed mind on anything. Um, I find myself edging more towards like the extreme side of the industry, like of the music, like your stuff, early stuff, and lo-fi, because it's where the different stuff is being made. It's where the
Hmm.
interesting people are playing in the shadows. This is
Sure.
where the most, as music lovers like yourself and myself, will find that something, that spark that isn't happening in mainstream metal at all. You know?
Yeah, it's funny. Like there was no such thing as mainstream metal even when I was doing metal. Back in the
No.
day.
Mm,
That was exactly why we did it. It was like we were the contrary to whatever was popular or seemed. The motivation was to find our own people, the people we like to hang with, and enjoy the crazy stuff that we enjoyed. So
yeah.
as I tell people, when it comes to counting how many people are there in the world, maybe into this such kind of stuff, I have like a formula which I think is kind of right for where I want to be and where I kind of am.
Mm,
Is that in my mind, maybe there's like 1% of the total population of the whole world into music, like really into music for the reasons we're talking about now.
mm,
Like, and that if you divide that on the population of the world, that's 80 million people, right?
mm,
8 billion people down to 1%, 80 million.
yeah.
And then what we're doing is 1,000 towards that 1 million into music. So we're appealing to a crowd of 80,000 people worldwide.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Wow.
those guys, the higher up in the brain of those 80,000 people worldwide, we can get that's kind of our home turf, if you
Mm,
like.
mm,
And that's way more than you need to. Uh, I mean, if you have 80,000 people really into your band, you're basically one of the biggest bands in any genre.
That's true. Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
if I'm uh looking at numbers and shit, I think right now where we are is we're reaching 1 out of 10 of those potential 80,000 on a like regular basis, which means like 8,000 people are super into this, like really into. They are the people coming to the shows, and they actually buy more merch now than ever because they tend to be a little bit, our age or
Mm,
super young.
yes.
It's some millennials, but there's super young people or our age people who likes this stuff,
Yeah.
and that's a very good thing
Yeah.
to observe. And I think more bands should be kind of honest about that, because the whole game now is to appeal to the people you appeal to and fuck everybody else, basically, if you think that way, because you can't choose your audience as a band. The audience chooses you, and if you are alienating enough people, that shouldn't like what you do, you find those diehards that think the same as you, and that's the crowd. That's the only crowd I need to to appreciate this. And to be honest, I don't really need it in that way, but I would rather turn the question on its head and say like those people will be happy when they find out about us.
Yeah. Look, I mean, again, you're just saying everything that I would probably, that I, you think, that it's the music industry wants to put things in boxes. It's all about money, of course, right? It's an industry. It's in the title. It's about money. But,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, there is, like yourself, there are people with scruples, morals, understanding of music, deep love of what they do, and it comes across. You can hear it fake. You can hear a fakeness a mile away. You can hear fake in the next suburb, if you know what I mean. Was
Hmm.
we put on like this first album of yours, and it's so brutally honest. Whether it's the original print or this fantastic new version of it, it's
Mm.
honest, right?
Yeah, thank you for saying that. It's kind of where I want everything I'm doing to be now. That's why we're doing this reissues in this year and next year, to kind of get also control over our own catalog and to
Good.
present it to the new people coming in. And we've always been a do-it-yourself kind of band, but I rely on the underground record labels that still exist, like Listenable, because they're in it for the right reasons. And
Yes.
honestly, it's more than enough for me to just record, rehearse, and book some shows. We're actually right now out playing clubs in Norway and Sweden this
Brilliant.
autumn, and that's all the shows are booked by ourselves, because we can do that because we're a trio and we don't, we have a small crew, and we can make that feasible for a place. I mean, for us, playing in front of between 100 and 200 people is more than enough. And surprisingly, when as a headliner, that we get that much people, not only in the bigger towns, but around in the like 100,000 people towns in Sweden and
Mm.
Norway. And there's more smaller festivals here now. So it seems to be the underground seems to be steadily growing and keeping uh, the scene alive around in different places where I was kind of thinking nothing happened anymore. But I've been kind of positively surprised to see that so many younger people are starting to
Yeah.
pay attention to music made by human beings.
Yeah, I mean the underground is where I seek out. I think, it's the place I feel the most comfortable, genuinely, Anders. And when I hear, I find it unfathomable to me a band of your influence and
Hmm.
technicality and uh, place in history to still consider yourself an underground band. I find that it's sort of one of these where you go, really? But but you were there at the beginning. How can you still, like, it's it's fabulous that you can still consider yourself grassroots.
I mean, there's nothing else to
Mm,
see it as because it's we never try to fit in or to get hit or try to change our image to some trend to appeal to certain monetary ideas ever.
mm.
Uh, because we basically just like the music we like, and we want to do it as good as we can, but we don't want to look like or sound like anybody else. So we're kind of, long term, it's gonna, continue kind of where it's at because, but that's not really the truth because there has to be coming new people in liking the same kind of thing.
Mm.
35 years is a long time.
Oh yeah, it is.
But I mean, so some of the audience have never seen the band before when they come to the show. Most of them actually haven't seen the band, but then they realize, okay, this band has been around for longer than I have lived, but they still do this. Okay, wow, that's incredible. But that's the thing is that I think it's kind of equivalent to another very vibrant scene in the music world, which is jazz.
Oh, I
There's a
love
lot of
jazz.
people in,
Yes.
yeah, but
Yep.
there's a lot of people into jazz, and there's renowned jazz players who's been around for 40, for 50 years, but they play the jazz clubs with 100 people
I know.
because that's what that's what's going on with that music. It's
Yeah.
just like it's never been for the masses or for the arenas or
Mm.
even theaters or anything. So the only difference now is that, of course, there's a lot of metal festivals that we can attend to now and then.
Yeah.
But what I discovered there is that we still get kind of our fans to come to see us at those events as well, which is great. There's like an opportunity for people because it's, as you can imagine, there's not enough economy to justify us touring outside
Mm.
Scandinavia. There just isn't because it's I don't really make money from the gigs, but we have to pay for all the shit I
Yeah.
mean the travel and all that stuff. I don't want to. I'm way too old to try to break through to the new whatever. So
Mm.
that's not where I am. So unfortunately, this means that we can't go and play very much outside where we can literally drive to. There's a few festivals in Europe that we can fly to,
Mm.
and that's it. So that's the world we live in. So
Yeah.
fortunately for us, people into it can listen to it wherever. If you're in Australia, you can still listen to all our music online or buy
Yes.
vinyl or whatever you want. So maybe one day, but when people ask why don't you come and play here, I'm like, I'm 53 years old, so you gotta pay the fucking tickets. I'm not
Snap. Yeah.
going. Yeah, I would rather sit at home and make new music than to,
Mm.
I'm not gonna uh, put up like, wow, I'm going there to play. And that's not how I think anymore. I've
No.
been around the world with other bands, much more successful bands, many,
Mm.
many times around. So I don't need that experience. But it would be incredible to go to where you live. But I
Mm.
know the scene there is small. It's like, uh, Australia, population-wise, is not bigger than Scandinavia.
No, 25 million. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's Norway, Sweden, Denmark.
Mm.
So it's but the cost of going there is
Oh yeah, yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And again,
So
that's what happens, unfortunately, with us living this side of the world. We accept that sometimes, it is what it is, But we also gatekeep. I try not to gatekeep bands like yourselves, but I find myself doing it. And then I sort of got to go, no, let everyone else listen as well.
yeah, I mean they have to get the chance to see if it's something for them. I mean, you have a real like radio show, or was this?
I have a podcast, but this is for the YouTube channel that it's going to go out onto. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but you still have like radio
Over
in
here,
Australia? Yeah.
sort of, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's very well listened. I wouldn't say it's massively listened to. No, no,
No, exactly.
no. Yeah,
No, it's a brave new world out there. No, but
isn't
it's
it?
yeah. I think I was in Australia in 2018 last time.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, they're
what
very forward
maybe we
thinking
did.
here.
Hmm?
They're very forward thinking here. They do lots of stuff like that where they take it very much on always new technology. The Australians will jump on it. You know, um,
No, t same with
sometimes
Scandinavia. Yeah,
sometimes for the detriment, sometimes for the detriment of the better, of better, but they still do it. And the same as
mm,
Scandinavia, right? It's just it's in their natures
yeah.
to do so. You know.
But there's people. I work at the Inferno Festival in Oslo every year for different project there, and there is always someone from your side of the world
Oh
coming
yes,
to Norway to check the things out. So
yeah.
we meet some of your fellow citizens every now and then.
It's actually one of my dreams. I want to do Norway, Sweden, Finland, the Scandinavian countries. I would
Yeah,
love. My daughter did it a few years ago, and she absolutely loved it. I would love to do it. Eventually, one day, that will happen. But um, you know,
sure.
hopefully. But you know what? It all. I mean, we've gone off tangent, but it's a true tourism that this album is brilliant, and that it's something that should be yours to own. Anders, and I'm glad that you are taking control of it.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
really genuinely am, as a lover of music, and I want the artists to have everything that's theirs, and I love that you're doing something about it. It's actually really filling me full of joy, to be honest, to hear it.
Mm, sounds
So
good.
yeah, no, and I love the new artwork. I know it's not the same artwork, but I
No,
love the new one.
yeah. The thing is that when they did the original, we had this idea. Actually, I wanted to have it to look like something in the direction of Slayer, and
Mm,
because hallucinating anxiety was like the concept. It means basically hallucinating anxiety was dealing with like internal drives of man in
mm.
all kinds of bad directions, and all the lyrics are about that. And basically, they just splashed something
Yeah, they
onto
were just
it,
trying to
and
be
they just
extreme, weren't they? Yeah,
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 they fucking English people, they just try to exploit something to make it sensation to get you know uh, people to be outraged. It's very
yeah.
not what we wanted.
Yeah, it has a very sort of Cannibal Corpsey kind of
Yeah, and I hate that.
thing.
I never liked those American death metal bands
No,
in any sort of way. I've never been into splatter. I mean,
no.
I looked at when I watched. Isn't he from Australia or is it New Zealand? Peter Jackson,
Oh yeah, he's from Australia.
Bad
He's
Taste.
from New Zealand. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Bad
yeah,
Taste. No, we thought that was funny, but it was just like funny.
yeah,
The whole American approach by being deliberately offensive towards the evangelicals there.
yeah.
We don't have that culture, but nobody will be offended in Norway by anything like this. This just looks like you slaughtered some fish,
Yeah, I have to
you
say
know?
it's an odd cover. I absolutely love the new one. It's
Yeah,
it,
because to us it was like, we grew up fishing, and
yeah,
you would take all the entrails out of a fish, and for us to use that as a cover sleeve would be like
yeah.
it's just silly, it's like mocking whatever we were
It,
doing.
yeah, it,
So
it 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 sort of tries to tell the audience that it's um because I know we're running out of time, but I really want to say this. The album is really intricate and dense and layered and interesting and introspective and all that sort of stuff. This
yeah.
cover just goes, we're just making noise.
Yeah, so I think maybe this will actually make people, it's stupid how that works, but when they look at this and listen to the music, they will listen to it in a different way, I think, because then they would connect with what we're trying to do here, which is more sophisticated in some way and more philosophical and stuff like that. And we were probably derailed from having like more success by that too, because we never felt like our visuals worked towards what we were trying to do, and we were always overturned without even being
Mm.
asked, and then things just came in the mail and it was done,
Yeah, and that's another thing, isn't it? It's that um that record store flick appeal, that they we used to have. You go in a record store, you didn't know what you
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah,
buying.
yeah.
Flick, flick, flick. Oh, this looks good. I'll take it home, right?
Hmm.
We've all spent and bought albums that we probably didn't realize you hated them or you might love them. You just loved the cover, so you took it home. And I think that this new cover has that. It has that pull me out of the rack,
Yeah,
and let me have a look at you appeal to it. And it is more in tune with what the sound is
exactly.
on it. And I'm really pleased that you didn't just go, well, same cover, off we go, you know.
No, no, no. That was a big, big issue for me, because to do this like reissuing of classic big albums, like important
Mm,
albums in the history of music, like Black Sabbath, first Black Sabbath.
mm,
You don't want to see that different, but then again, that was always perfect. That's my point.
mm.
There's some bands were able to just come out with something perfect instantly, like also Slayer did
Oh
that.
yeah.
Celtic Frost,
Yes.
Possessed, all these bands.
Venom.
Um, yeah, Venom, exactly. Yeah, imagine Venom having like a splatter thing,
Oh,
it wouldn't.
what a terrible thought. So-
Yeah, it's with. I mean, Venom. The word Venom just means poison. But if
yeah,
it was like portraited with just like a snake or something stupid, we'd be like, yeah, sure.
yeah,
The whole.
yeah. You go, kitsch, move on.
Yeah. So it's important to have the aesthetics, but nowadays people don't. I mean, young people are blistered with spectacles to watch all the fucking time on their
Mm,
phones. So it's like the visual aspect of having the album cover. So it's kind of a lost art form, but that's what we try to do as well. When they see that as young kids getting into this kind of music, they probably see that as an additional part of the whole thing in a different way than we did.
mm.
Because for them, it's like, wow, it's actually, wow, this is interesting that the music also has like a visual thing you can hold in your hand.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, it's wonderful to be able to sit there, hold it, and not also be able to read the bloody lyrics because you can't read the lyrics on a CD booklet. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I know, particularly my age now, it's impossible. So I like I like to be with the music because I can turn it. I have to be there to turn the thing over. I've got to
Hmm.
be there with it. I can't just go off and muck around. And it's like you're there with it. It makes you stay with it, and we're very lucky that still is coming back. I think to some extent. Um,
Sure.
you know. But yeah, wonderful new cover. It's out Halloween, I believe. It's
Is
getting
it?
released October 31st. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was November
Mm,
28th.
mm, yeah.
Maybe it's a different thing
Have we got it
in
earlier?
Australia.
Have we got it earlier? Have I made the wrong notes? I thought I said it. I may have. I may be misremembering Anders. So don't worry
Yeah,
about
you know,
that.
because yeah, because in Norway we haven't had when I was growing up, we didn't have Halloween. That came like in the late
Oh,
90s.
we never had that in the UK either. It didn't exist. It was
No,
something
as
that
an
didn't happen.
It's yet another American consumer project.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, it doesn't do it for me. I love horror movies and I love the dark side of life, but I live that all the time. I don't need to have one day to tell me that, you know.
No, it's yet another American experiment.
Yeah, yeah, indeed.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always surprised that it catched on here. But people
Ah,
are.
well, I mean, they make it easy for the kids to enjoy. That's the point, right? Get the kids, and then you get the adults. It's the key, right? So it's the
Yeah,
success of all things. But
sure.
yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming on. We better wrap this up. But thank you
Yes.
for chatting. I'm so glad we got to talk again. I absolutely love both versions of this album. So thank you for chatting. It was a real privilege. And I hope that the package and the whole thing reignites something for you and people see it again in new eyes.
Yeah, no, it's a good time to be in Cadaver. We're having a great time doing these things, and we're always having something else cooking in the works for more stuff coming next year. We're doing box set though, like the demos and some live stuff people haven't heard before
Oh,
and stuff like
oh,
that too.
I'll be on to that.
And then
That's a
yeah, and then we're doing the Necrosis album from 2004, full vinyl and the full booklet and everything.
oh, very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice. There again, it's in your hands, my friend. You take control of it because you deserve it. Um, and thanks for everything.
yeah. Thank you
Thanks
very
for the
much.
journey, man. It's been a wonderful journey. I love your music.
Yes, thank you so much. It's gonna carry on into the unforeseeable future now because I realize that Cadaver is something I really want to treasure and just do as long as I am able,
Good.
physically. And
Long live, long
oh,
may it be.
yes, I hope so. All right.
Yeah. Well, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Man, take it easy.
You
Bye for
too.
now.
Cheers. Bye
Bye.
bye.